What is happening, sports fans? Jermaine Man Matt from the DFS 5 pack. I am rocking it solo. It is Monday, December 20th. This is NBA members only. I'm going to make one video free to the public today. I'm feeling good. I got my Browns game on at 5. So I'm excited about today. It's Monday. That sucks, but we got a bunch of sports on. We got a game at 2:30. We got 2 NFL games, and we got 6 NBA games, to crush. So with that said, let's dive into it. Before I do so, however, I'm going to shout out our promoters real quick. First off, at Jazz Sports, if you sign up at Jazz Sports, you get a no-risk wager up to $1,000 back on your first bet. That's $1,000 back if your first wager is graded a loss. You just really can't beat that. I suggest everyone check that out. Just a really good deal they're offering over there. And then as far as Loose Lines goes, Loose Lines is an affiliate of Jazz Sports. And what they have over there is really, really good odds and lines. They offer a ton of other perks and reduced juice over there. When you sign up at Loose Lines, you get an additional 50% off. So, again, the links will be in the description section of the video. I encourage and would appreciate anyone who checks those out. Now we can dive in. Let me screen share this biatch, and we will be on our way. Again, I think this is a fun 6-gamer. Some injury, COVID concerns that we don't know yet, so we'll just have to kind of take the wait-and-see approach. And the first game is a perfect example of that. Boston hosting Philly. Ton of questionable guys in this game. As far as the Boston side goes, Schroeder's questionable. Hold on one second, guys. Schroeder's questionable. Tatum's questionable. Horford's out. Grant Williams is out. It's just Boston's a tough nut to crack right now. If Tatum's out, guys like Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown specifically becomes an almost auto lock. Marcus Smart becomes a really good play, especially if Schroeder's out as well. Robert Williams looks like he's a solid look no matter what. Not a must. Tons of value on this slate. But I've always been a fan of the Time Lord at 5,700. He's got upside. And it's Cantor Freedom. Isn't the worst play in the world either. Sure, he'll get some run. How many minutes did he play last time? Played 21 minutes last time out. So at 3,600, you could do worse. But again, we'll just have to see on Boston. The centers we know are going to be in play, but all the secondary pieces become more in play if Tatum's out. And Tatum, I should say. Jaylen Brown, again, if one or both of those guys miss, I think you just play him. We'll have to wait and see on that. And then as far as Philly goes, much of the same. So we know that obviously Simmons is out, Drummond's out, Milton's out, Korkmaz is out, and Niang are out. Maxey, Green, and Embiid are all questionable. So impossible to break them down right now. If Embiid, et cetera, sit, Tobias Harris looks like a really strong play, even at 8,700. If those guys are in, not so much. With Drummond out, Charles Bassey becomes a really strong play if is out. So again, we'll have to wait and see on Philly. This is just NBA DFS right now. Welcome to it. If you can't be around your computer till the last game locks, I would recommend not playing heavy. All right, next up we got Houston at Chicago. Chicago coming back after about a week layoff. They played last night against the Lakers, now on a back-to-back here. So still no Zach LaVine for them. Matt Thomas are out. Derrick Jones Jr. is out. Troy Brown is out. We know Levine's out. We know Patrick Williams has been out all season. So Alizé and Stanley Johnson are both out as well. Vucevic is getting a little bit of love. Makes sense. He's priced probably where he should be at 9,100. DeRozan was a monster in the fourth quarter. He's leading the NBA in fourth quarter points per game at over 8 per game. Put up 19 in the last period last night. He's just having a fantastic year. He's getting some love. I don't think I'm going to prioritize here, but I certainly get it. Great spot at home against Houston. I think this game's decently competitive also. The one guy that looks like a lock from the Bulls is going to be Devontae Green. Again, he's much more solid than spectacular, but played 35 minutes last night, walked into 26 DK points. I think we can expect more of the same here. I think Lonzo Ball is an intriguing, contrarian-ish spend-up. Looks like a solid filler piece in all formats. And I'll say Kobe White and Alfonso McKinney, interesting pivots off of Devontae Green, especially Kobe White, because we know he's got an offense side. Houston, not in the best spot. If Armani Brooks is out, I think we can definitely take a look at Josh Christopher. I liked at Arizona State, playing good ball right now. Price is up a little bit, but it should be, still under 4K, 23 plus DK points in 3 straight. Fine with him, especially if Armani is out. With Christian Wood in, takes the secondary pieces pretty much out of play for me. KJ Martin's playing good ball right now, so at 3 you could do worse, but not a must by any means. All right, OKC and Memphis. This one's a pretty easy one for me to break down. Memphis played last night. Tough loss against Portland. There's still, well, I wouldn't say there. Dylan Brooks still looks too cheap. It's really for him recently coming off a game last night. He looks like a solid look in all formats, getting love as he should. And then Steven Adams playing bigger minutes recently, played 36 last night, big upside in 2 out of his past 3. He's definitely in play for me at A. The other guys I'm fine with: Tyus Jones, Desmond Bain, Anthony Melton, sure, Kyle Anderson even, but outside of Brooks, maybe Adams, I get Jaren Jackson as well. No one's a priority for me here. And then OKC, no thanks. Just not late. I'm going to get to the Thunder. They're pretty healthy and they're priced up a little bit. So in Utah, Charlotte has gotten absolutely rolled their past games. Well, Utah was playing well, and they've lost their past 2 at home against the Wizards and Spurs. Got to think they bounce back here. Great spot for Utah. Now, these guys are priced up a little bit. We have money to spend on this slate. Steph Curry's coming in as the, far and away highest owned stud, and it makes sense. I think the pivot to Donovan Mitchell isn't a bad look in tournaments. Just a great spot against Charlotte, for sure. Same with Gobert, lesser note. Other than that, I think Royce O'Neal is similar to KJ Martin in that I think they're fine fillers. On a lot of slates, they'd be more of a priority. As far as Charlotte goes, no thanks here. LaMelo's always in play in tournaments because he's got big upside, but we're never really looking to pick on Utah in Utah. So paper, not the spot for Charlotte. It is the spot for Sacramento Golden State, however. So this game has a lot in play. As far as the Golden State side goes, I mentioned, with Poole out, with Wiggins out, he's just going to ask to be shoulder even more of a load than he usually does in a game that I think is pretty competitive in a pace-up spot against Sacramento, where he looks elite in formats. The love is warranted. If I'm making a cash game, I'm playing him, and you can do far worse than just plugging him into your tournament lineups. I think Otto Porter is interesting with Wiggins out and with Poole. I mean, they're going to need offense from somewhere. It's not going to come from Draymond Green, so no thanks there. Guys could take on a bigger role. Montescano Anderson. If I were to take a shot on any of them, though, it'd be Porter. And then as far as Sacramento goes, I mean, their whole starting 5 and even more than play. So Halliburton locks central in all formats. I mean, coming off, it's got 42 plus in 3 straight monster game yesterday. Buddy Hield locks center. They're missing so many bodies with Fox, Davion Mitchell, Terrence Davis, Marvin Bagley, potentially Rashawn Holmes. Hield got there late last night. I love going right back there. Barnes, lock. Metu, I like the least out of the bunch, but getting a lot of love. And in a cash game, I think you just lock him in. And then I like Tristan Thompson again, assuming Holmes is out. Damian Jones balled in 19 minutes last night. Doubt that replicates. Thompson would be my guy at 4,300. But these are my main 3, Halliburton, Hield, and Barnes. I think play these guys everywhere and move and, go along with your business. I'll do a little bit of building at the end, but I'm just going to leave these up here. Last but not least, we got Sacramento at LA facing the Clippers. So Paul George is truly questionable tonight. He has played a minute in 5 games. Their price, the Clippers that is, are priced for Paul George to be out in. I'm not really interested in any of their secondary pieces, except for their centers, with Zoo and potentially Serge Ibaka playing more with Hartenstein out. So that's going to be a spot to watch. I like them more if Paul George is out. Other than that, no one I'm really interested in on the Clippers. And then the Spurs, not the greatest spot in the world, coming off a bad loss for them in Sacramento. I think that assuming McDermott's out again, the Lonnie Walker, Devin Vassell combo is worth looking at. Lonnie Walker's playing well right now. DK points in back-to-back games in 3 out of his past 5. Vassell started last night, did not play particularly well, but got there late. So if he's starting again, he's still my preferred option, but it's close. And if he's more ownership, I think dropping to a lesser owned Walker makes sense. A little bit of building before I leave. I've obviously got these 3 guys up. It's nice that all 3 of these guys are eligible at different positions. So right now, I think you put in Steph Curry, and then the other guy I'd want to put in is Javonte Green. So I'm going to put, where is it? Power forward. And then Javonte Green at small forward. And then, you got 5,400. Obviously, there's plenty of different spots to go here. I mentioned Steven Adams. I talked about Tristan Thompson. Even KEVON LOONEY, who's in good form right now, under 4K. I don't mind him. Charles Bassey, if Embiid is out. So just a little bit too early to fully build. But you guys get the point. That's all I got for you. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you want info, more content, more videos, more write-ups, go check out the EFS 5-pack. We'd love to have you over here. And I think Ryan and I are going to get on here shortly and make a little bit of NFL content. So stay tuned for that. I appreciate you guys as always. Great Monday.